This moment, the one that you and I are in right now, is the only one that we have. The problem is, it's about the only moment that your brain doesn't want to pay attention to. I don't know if you ever noticed this, but whether you're replaying a past mistake, you're remembering that fabulous vacation, or maybe finally nailing that comeback that you couldn't quite think of in the moment, or if it's not the past, you're anxious about an upcoming conversation that you're about to happen, or a deadline, or worried about how your kids are gonna turn out someday down the road, or convinced that tomorrow is the day that maybe it'll all turn around and get better. We spend a lot of time in the past or the future. And now this isn't all bad. It's actually something our brains were designed for. We consistently use these past experiences to then assess our current trajectory and then prepare for the future. And that's all fine. But the problem happens when this unconscious attempt to control our fate makes us lose sight of reality. We miss the small moments that feel dull or uninteresting, but normally they should bring us a lot of life and joy. We agonize over how something might turn out someday, but we don't do anything to make sure that it doesn't turn out that way. We lose sight of the one moment, the one thing that we are actually in control of. Our choice right now. Jesus knew this too. It's exactly what he was aiming for in Matthew 6 when he talked about this idea of seeking first the kingdom and his righteousness, God's righteousness. He was talking about present moment action that was in line with kingdom values, not waiting or guessing or blindly hoping that something will be better in the future. And I get it, because the present moment can be scary. It's actually really frightening. Living in the past can be really comfortable at times, but also painfully comfortable. It's a weird paradox, but it's already done. There's no surprises. It may have hurt then, but at least it's not unknown. And living in the future gives us this fake, cheap kind of energy, actually. It gets us revved up preparing or stressing or spinning, but we never remember to then enjoy the future once it shows up. And so when we don't choose to face the reality of the present, we live full of regret. There's actually no way around that, because we miss the future that we were preparing for, and we can never get the past back. Maybe you've done some damage that you've got to own up to. Maybe that's your present reality. Or maybe you're not as happy as or fulfilled as you tell people, and you've got to accept that. Or maybe that inner critic has been getting louder and louder, and you're starting to really believe it. The pain of facing reality now is always less than the pain of facing it in the future. Life is full of pain. That's a given, but it's often our choice when we decide to face it, because we've invented incredible ways to get around that pain for now. And the beauty of this is that facing that pain now, owning up to reality now, usually leads to incredible clarity. My next step, what I should do given the circumstances, becomes really obvious when I open my eyes, when I look around at what's really going on in life, and just start to figure it out. In a couple of days, we're rolling out something that I think is going to be really exciting. It's called the Done with Stuck Primer, and it's not a quick fix. It's not going to make you happy-go-lucky or melt your cares all away. I really wish it was that good, but it's not. In fact, it might actually hurt a bit. But it will give you a safe place to face that reality, the present moment situation. And hopefully it will give you a clear formula to understand and change whatever it is that has you stuck. Now, just a hint here too, in advance, if you're going to take the leap and do this with us, you're going to need a conversation partner. Now, this is somebody to walk next to, process with, and also to help through it. It's not just somebody that's doing it for you, it's somebody that's doing it with you. So you got to know, who's that person for you? And even if you don't do this thing, somebody has to face reality with you. We weren't meant to face it alone. So who's that person for you? Who's walking alongside you that you can be honest with? Who you can share those really challenging things with, the things you're afraid of, but who's not going to try and fix you. and who's never going to say, I told you so, except maybe a little further down the line, but not quite yet. Who is that person? Because even somebody that could be that is a good enough start. Even somebody that you think has what it takes, you just haven't gotten there yet. That's your conversation partner, and that's somebody that you do life with. And if you've got that person, don't let them go. In fact, you got to move closer, and hopefully this Done with Stuck Primer experience will do that for you too. Send this to them if you've got that person, or if you think that there's somebody that could be that person. Send this video to them. Let them know you might want to do this thing together and go on this journey together, because there's nothing better for keeping you in the present moment than a friend who cares and listens. We'll see you for the rollout soon.